Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQCAW, and as always, NoDQ.com, your source for the very latest in WWE and TNA. We're coming off Monday Night Raw, 365 days now that CM Punk has been WWE Champion. Let's get right down to your questions. This is from Chili Willy 90. During the brawl with Dolph Ziggler and John Cena on Raw, he injured his leg. Is it a storyline injury or is he really hurt? There's a lot of conflicting reports going around about John Cena's injury. There was one report that it was all part of a storyline to build up to TLC and that the backstage segment between Cena and Ziggler was filmed before the live segment where Cena was running and then it looked like he twisted his ankle or something. There's also another report that the injury is in fact legit and that he really did injure his ankle while running out of the ring to try to catch Dolph Ziggler. John Cena posted something on Twitter this morning about his injury and saying that it's the typical good news, bad news situation. He didn't elaborate any further on it. My take on it is that we should know in a week or so. You know, he said he's going to be at the SmackDown tapings tonight, and we'll see what happens on Raw. If John Cena's moving around just fine in wrestling, then either it was a very minor injury or it was just a work. I mean, if it was a work, I think that Cena did a really good job because it certainly looked like he hurt himself. And if it was legit, he did a good job carrying through with it, you know, despite being hurt. But I mean, time will tell how serious it was, but I suspect that it's not going to slow him down all that much. If it is a serious injury, then clearly he won't be wrestling on TV for a while because, you know, they got WrestleMania coming up and they're not going to jeopardize him being less than 100% for WrestleMania. So time will tell whether it was legit or to what degree. I mean, maybe he did twist it and it was just a minor injury and he'll be able to work through it. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. This is from Dan2007. Hey Aaron, what is your favorite and least favorite Hell in a Cell match with Triple H in it? For me, I would say his match with HBK was the best and his match with Kevin Nash was the worst. Your thoughts? I think my favorite Triple H Hell in a Cell match would have to be the one with Mick Foley from No Way Out 2000. That one stands out the most to me. That was when the Attitude Era was going full force and you know, it was Foley's last big hurrah before he retired. I mean, he did come back a month later for WrestleMania, but it was basically his farewell match, and he took all the crazy bumps. You had the barbed wire baseball bat, and it was set on fire. You had Foley going through the Hell in the Cell again. So that was my favorite. And the worst Hell in a Cell match, I thought the one with Kevin Nash with Mick Foley as the enforcer, I thought that was a decent match. I don't think it was terrible. And, you know, it was during a period when they still did a lot in the Hell in a Cell, and it was still very physical. I'd have to say the worst one with Triple H was 2009, him and Shawn Michaels against Legacy. I mean, by that point, WWE had gone PG, and there really was nothing to that match. I mean, it was not the kind of Hell in a Cell match you would expect out of Triple H. So that would be my worst one. I'll say what everyone is thinking. Jerry Lawler needs to retire. I was really enjoying Cole and JBL while Lawler was gone. Glad he's okay, but he's been stinking up the commentary since he came back. Agreed? I don't think Jerry Lawler has been at his best for a while now. I think a lot of people would agree that he's been kind of going through the motions in recent years, and he's a shell of what he once was on commentary. I would certainly agree on that. Since he's been back, I mean, I think he's been okay, and you know, he's been poking fun at himself and making jokes, and I mean, it's okay, but it was definitely a breath of fresh air to have a change at the announce desk. Even having JR back was something we haven't heard in a while, and I think it made the commentary a lot better. And I actually thought Jim Ross and Michael Cole as a two-person announce team was really good. With Michael Cole being a babyface, both of them being babyface play-by-play announcers, I thought that they played well off of each other. And JBL's been really good since he's been back too. So it was something different, and now with Lawler back, it's back to the same old thing. And I know, you know, there's people sympathetic towards Jerry Lawler, but you don't want the guy to have a heart attack, but it would be nice to change things up and have some different people in there doing commentary. It freshens up the product for sure. Excluding WrestleMania 28, what has been your favorite and least favorite WWE pay-per-view this year and why? Well, we got the No DQ year-end awards coming up, and one of the categories is pay-per-view of the year. You can vote for your favorite pay-per-view. You can send in nominations. I'll have details on that in the next day or so. I think clearly, in my opinion, and I guess this is a spoiler because next month I was planning to give my picks for the year-end awards, but I'm just going to throw it out right now. My favorite pay-per-view would definitely be Extreme Rules. I think John Cena and Brock Lesnar had a totally unique match, and it was one of the most physical matches in recent WWE history. And the rest of the card was really good. Chris Jericho and CM Punk, Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Very, very good pay-per-view, and it was in Chicago. You had the great crowd atmosphere. I love that pay-per-view. I definitely thought I got my money's worth on that one. As far as worst pay-per-view, I would have to go with Hell in the Cell because there was so much hype, and when it's Hell in the Cell, you have these expectations, and they're not really realistic in 2012 WWE. But in the back of your mind, you're still hoping that you might see something crazy in a Hell in the Cell match. And you had Ryback, all this hype about Ryback, and they did a really cheap finish for the end. I mean, people didn't like it, and the rest of the pay-per-view, there was nothing all that much to it. So I say Hell in the Cell because of the hype involved. I mean, there were other pay-per-views that were forgettable, but Hell in the Cell, there was a lot of people talking about it, and it just didn't live up to expectations. This is from BCruz16. Hey Aaron, do you think that Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns will ultimately be fed to Ryback? If not, what do you think their immediate plans are? That's certainly a big concern. I talked about this in the last video. A lot of people are worried that these three guys are just going to be victims and they'll be fed to Ryback and that'll be the end of them. I think that this is a great opportunity to help establish some new stars. If anybody's going to get the best of Ryback, you might as well have it be new talent. Use them to, use Ryback to elevate these guys. And, Ryback can still beat them, but let them put up the biggest fight that Ryback has ever had. I could see WWE doing a 3-on-1 handicap match. I'm not a big fan of that unless these three guys actually beat Ryback. I'd rather see one-on-one matches and let each of them have a competitive match against Ryback, and even if they lose, they still give them a great fight. I think that would do a lot for them because Ryback has just destroyed every guy he's been in the ring with. Let these guys actually get some offense on them, and I think that would help build them up, and they would continue to build up Ryback as well. You want to make everybody look good, and that's really the key because you have three new guys, and you want to establish them as potential main eventers at some point, and as the future of WWE. So you definitely don't want to just have them job out to Ryback in a 3-minute match. That would be disastrous. Hey Aaron, in your opinion, is Big Show the right man to hold the World Heavyweight title? Well, it depends on what WWE's plans are. I've speculated on Big Show versus Ryback. If that's a plan for WrestleMania or at some point, I think that Big Show would be the right guy to hold the world title and have Ryback beat Big Show for the title. I think that would be a great idea. But it could very well just be Big Show being a transitional champion and I guess maybe WWE decided to take the title off Sheamus for a little bit and have him chase Big Show and try to win the title back. That could just be all WWE's doing. Who knows? I suppose we'll find out by TLC and see if Sheamus wins back the title. But, I mean, if it was my decision and I was planning it out, people ask me what would I do. I would have Big Show stay champion until WrestleMania and have Ryback beat him. That's just what I would do. But it could very well be Sheamus versus a heel Randy Orton at WrestleMania. In fact, that's what I'm willing to bet is the most likely world title match. But there's still time. By Royal Rumble, we'll have a better idea of what direction WWE is going in. I'm just not positive what they're doing at this point. This is from Parbays. Hey Aaron, who do you think is a better wrestler, JBL or CM Punk? Please answer in video, thanks. Well, I think I clearly have to go with CM Punk. I think CM Punk has had a lot of great title matches. Somebody asked me about JBL before. I just wasn't a big fan of him as WWE champion. I think JBL is great on the mic, and he has been great over the years, but in terms of him as WWE champion, having main event matches, his matches just weren't that good in my opinion. I mean, he had a title match with Undertaker. I thought that was disappointing. His match at Cena at WrestleMania 21, in my opinion, was a dud. I was there live. I was very bored with it. That was the one match that I could recall where I almost literally fell asleep, and this was at WrestleMania. So I just didn't buy into JBL as champion, and he had been a mid-card guy for so long, and all of a sudden he's the champion. WWE tried to do every kind of gimmick in the book to get him through a championship match, have all the crowd brawling and the tables and, blood and every gimmick you can use to try to get the match over. And it just didn't work for me. I just don't think JBL was very effective as a champion. And it was kind of a boring period in WWE. But nothing against JBL. I think he's a tremendous talker, great commentary, and just a very solid performer, but not WWE Championship material in my opinion. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AV. I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving, and it'll certainly be good for me. It's my 30th birthday as well on Thursday. I'll be back, though, probably Friday with another No DQ&A video, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.